Now, Donald Trump's team have launched an attack ad on Joe Biden, questioning whether he could make it for another 4 years in office. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has come out fighting in his annual State of the Union address. In a fiery performance, he attacked his opponent, Donald Trump, calling him a threat to democracy. The 81-year-old president also defended his record on the economy. So, would a November victory for President Trump be an early Christmas present for Britain? But first, let's look at that State of the Union address from the sitting President Joe Biden in the company of one of America's most compelling political and social commentators and the star of the hugely popular Mel K Show podcast, Mel K. Mel, great to have you on the programme. Has Joe Biden proved his critics wrong with this fiery performance?
Oh, no. And thank you so much for having me. It's got to be a real trip for the rest of the world to watch what's going on here. No, frankly, I mean, the American people as a whole are exhausted. The left and right, Republican and Democrat, it is proving to be a farce. More people see it than ever. More people are looking at D.C. and wondering who is running it. And I don't just mean Joe Biden or anyone else. We in America at this point have obviously had some kind of capture by a rogue kind of situation where they are keeping us divided. And he gets up there and basically says that 80 million people and Donald Trump are the problem and he's the uniter and all of that. Where the truth is, the entire of D.C. is actually proving itself to be a incompetent, unworkable and corrupt situation that I believe the people are actually getting forced closer together watching what's happening through this administration rather than far apart, which is what I believe these people really want.
I mean, the question posed in that attack video from the Trump camp is, could Joe Biden survive another 4 years in office? What's your view?
Well, first and foremost, I believe that we should wait and see what happens at the Democratic convention. There's a lot of talk in the background about that, A. And B, you know, the truth is that nobody really wants to continue down a path of endless war and America being all over the world. A lot of people want a different direction. And right now, it's even more about ideology and what the American people want for our future rather than, you know, a man. It's not really about Trump or Biden at this point. And most Americans are getting that. It's really about the direction of this nation and our future. And I honestly believe that most people are now looking at, you know, who is offering them peace, who's offering to protect our border, who's offering to reinvest in America. And that obviously is Donald Trump over Biden. But making it to Election Day seems very iffy. But we will see the Democratic convention. Anything could happen there.
There you go. Well, reading between the lines, I wonder if in that answer you're suggesting the Democrats might just throw Joe Biden under the bus and put someone like Gavin Newsom in the hot seat. But let's talk about Donald Trump, who could be successful in November. Let's, if we can, Mel K, bring my brilliant Friday friends into this conversation, Neil and Christine Hamilton. Mel K, would a Trump victory in November be an early Christmas present for the United Kingdom?
Well, in my opinion, I think that it would be an early Christmas present for everyone on planet Earth that would like to see peace ahead and would like to see negotiations and like to see us get back on track instead of continuing down a path that is not really good for anyone on planet Earth. We just really need to have some open conversations. There's been very little talk about what peace could look like, what prosperity could look like. And I think there's a lot of people looking at the globalist organizations like the UN and the World Economic Forum and other groups and thinking, what is their part? What are they playing? And why aren't nations and nations getting together to discuss things directly instead of going through third parties? So there's a lot out there that could happen for the world. And I believe for the better, honestly. I don't think the direction for anyone is going in a good pattern.
Well, Mel K, let me put that to Neil Hamilton, who is the leader of UKIP, a national political party in this country. Neil, Mel K there says that a Trump victory would be good for the world. Would it be good for Britain?
Well, I would, but I think if we got Keir Starmer as Prime Minister, all bets are off. Of course, Donald Trump is half British. His mother was born in Scotland.
He's an Anglophile.
He's an Anglophile, and he wanted to have a trade deal with this country, which our government foolishly put on the back burner. And I think Trump would be, as we've just heard from Mel, good for the world. Putin, I don't think, would ever have dared to go into Ukraine if Trump were president of the United States, and I don't think Xi Jinping would be threatening Taiwan in the obvious way that he does if Trump were the president. So I think that a Trump victory would be good for us all in so many different ways.
However, Christine, this is a guy that's been found guilty in a civil court of a sexual assault. He's mired in all sorts of legal woes. Many think he's a criminal. Is he fit for high office?
Well, the American people, it's their choice, not ours. The American people factored all that in when they voted for him in the first place, just like the British people factored all Boris's faults in when they voted for him. So they know what they're getting with Trump. And as Neil said, I think, personally, the world would be a much safer place with Trump because the other side, the Putins, etc., would not know what he was going to do next. My only big concern about Trump is that he has said that he will stop sending money to Ukraine, which I think will be tragic because Ukraine is fighting on the front line for the rest of Europe, and I would hope that the United States would stand by poor Ukraine.
Mel K, I'm out of time. A couple of seconds, if you can. Do you think that Donald Trump wins in November?
Yes, 100%.
OK, well, look, a straight answer to a straight question. Let me tell you, you must check out the brilliant Mel K Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. It's a brilliant listen. Mel K, do join us again soon. Brilliant to have you on the programme.
I will.
OK.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's
Thanks.
great stuff. What an interesting debate that was.